All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Bakersfield Speedway for the Mike Moshier Classic. We'll be talking a little bit about Mike Moshier as the night goes on. Feel like there's never a story you can run out of when you're talking about the famous race doctor himself, Mike Moshier. Bakersfield Speedway, I want to thank you all for joining us here. I am Jeffrey Best, bringing you the coverage from Bakersfield this weekend. Excited to be back out here. Myself in person, been keeping up with all the action, of course, here on Bakersfield TV, low-budget TV. And, again, want to thank you all for joining us here on this wonderful, now, summer evening. It was hot all day long, triple-digit weather here in the Central Valley. Now, as you heard discussed just before, it was time to take over Mike duties here. This is the American Stock Division, and every division tonight will be doing draw-redraw for the top 12 cars. So, for the American Stocks, because they have 3 heat races, we'll be taking the top 4. Draw-redraw essentially means you could finish third in your heat race. As long as you finish top 3, you have a chance of going and starting on the pole. Heat race number 1 of the night. It's going to be Mark McCaslin in the number 55 machine. The 86, Clay Water. 15D on the inside of row number 2 is Dakota Brown with Anthony Sly in the 25 machine, Josh Yaden in the 88K, and the 2cc of Carson Conway. Let's go racing. The Mike Moshier Classic is green. They didn't like it. They said that wasn't pretty. That wasn't right. That wasn't what we want. So we're going to restack this one again and try it all over again. And they're going to give them the one to go this time by. Again, I'm Jeffrey Best, bringing it to you here from Bakersfield Speedway. Thank you all for joining us here. Love bringing the coverage from Bakersfield Speedway. Love this dirt track. Always a lot of action. Always a lot of craziness. All right, let's try this. Take number 2. These drivers know what they're doing. Is this one going to be better? I would say so. The question now is, how nice is everything going to be? Water up the track. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes drivers don't like it. Oh, it's a flat right front tire for the 86 machine. So Clay Water has an idea. The light on the roof, but it's not going to pay dividends in this one. So Water already eliminated from an opportunity at the draw-redraw unless we get a yellow and Clay can somehow change that tire. Clay's still on the racetrack right now, motoring around, not giving up. But there comes a time and a place where you're going to have to battle for the lead. Oh, are they going to take each other out? One car in the wall, and that's going to cause a right front tire issue for the 2cc machine. Carson Conway knocking himself out of the running, and a battle for the lead now. Now this is wild. Again, draw-redraw means you can finish third place and you're good. Usually we see the best battles are going to be for that third spot, and there is one right now. We'll take a look at it, but first we got this battle for the lead, which is hot and heavy. Zoom on out. There's the battle. Oh, for the third spot and the transfer spot. I say transfer. I don't think we're going to have any transfers tonight with B-Mains, but Dakota Brown says, you scratched my paint, and now the car won't run. Wow. Was that the Looks like everything's coming off for Dakota Brown. Brown, oftentimes one of the competitors that you have to consider for the race win. Now Dakota also at times can have a temper. And I don't think Dakota's going to be very happy about what just took place. But hey, you know what? Dakota might say, you know what? That's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I don't know. What's interesting is at this point, we literally have 3 cars left. All 3 of these cars are going to be up for the redraw. We'll see what they do here. Every now and then, I might accidentally refer to it as the transfer. That's just because a lot of times when we are talking about, cutoff points in a heat race, it's because of transfers. Biggest field we have here tonight, which most of them are near full fields, if not full fields. But our biggest field is a 22-car field, and that tells me we will probably not see any B mains here tonight. Now, because of this yellow, anyone that had a flat tire, if they're paying attention or someone on the crew is able to flag them down or maybe text, call, radio, say, hey, get them back on the track, because if we only lost 1 lap, the way this race is going, there's a good chance we might be able to get our car out on the track and maybe have an opportunity for making that redraw. And that could be a huge difference. Right now you're guaranteed to start 13th on back. You finish in that top 3, hello, top 12 starting spot. And again, that could be as good as the front row starting on the pole. Now they're having, it appears, issues here getting Dakota Brown's car out of the way. Some insult to injury here for the 15D. And we'll be right back for more. All right, let's do it again. Restart lap number 5. All the heat races tonight will be 8 laps in duration. So not only these 3 cars, but Dakota Brown, who's out of the race, is also up for the redraw. Now, you may have seen it as the car went by. The left rear of that car is busted. Something majorly bent with that left rear wheel of Dakota Brown. I don't know if that's something that they're going to be able to fix before the main event, but certainly hope that they will. Brown right now knows he has an opportunity of starting on the pole. He's going to want to make sure that gets fixed. This is the final lap coming to the checkered. It's going to the 25 of Anthony Sly. We will have 3 more, or excuse me, now I'm lying to you. 2 more American stock main events. All right, let's meet our next field of competitors. Heat race number 2, American Stocks. If you'd like to follow along, by the way, as far as lineups or anything, if you have my race pass, it's not in there, Dad. Yeah. My father's here with me. He's here to watch some dirt track racing. And he became a pack mule. Isn't that? What a helper. 24 deep machine of Daryl Mueller is going to start us on the pole. Tara Childress outside row number 1. The 96 of Matt Crawford, row 2, with the 357 of Stephen Lawler. 174, Cody Sly. 68, Danny Smith. So that is your field. All right, let's go racing. American Stocks green flag is in the air. Heat race number 2, top 4. Up for the redraw. Oh boy, American Stocks oftentimes. Oh, huge slam down the back straightaway. That was a bump draft, and now we're drifting up on each other. Lawler getting to know Tara in the 27. Let's do it again. Oh boy, oh boy. So Stephen Lawler taking the top spot over the 27 of Tara Childress, 96 of Crawford, and then the last car in the redraw spot is the 174 machine of Cody Sly, but Sly has a lot of attention. That's coming from the 24. Daryl Mueller started in the good. That was in the top spot, and now is having to regroup to get back into the top 4. Slipping back a little bit, the 68 machine of Danny Smith. 3 laps in, 5 laps to go. And these 3 cars, only 2 of them will be up for the redraw. Here comes Mueller on the outside. Huge throw in for the 174. Going to drift up, almost get into Mueller. And Cody Sly is now the one outside looking in. Childress still holding these boys off. 3 laps to go. Battle for the lead. Lawler over Crawford. While that's good, this is what really matters. Although it's all good. Side by side, Crawford looking for the lead. I'm going to keep an eye on this transfer battle. Crawford not going to be able to clear through turn number 1. Here comes the transfer battle into turn number 1. The racing's too good. I got to zoom out even further. Wide down the back straightaway. This is down the back straightaway. This is for the redraw spot. White flag in the air. Final lap. Single file up front. Crawford going to have one more opportunity to take the heat race win. Man, these American Stocks, they want to win their heat races. It looks like Lawler's going to hold them off, kind of. It's going to be Lawler at the line, but who's going to be the last redraw? Out of turn 4, Mueller, defense. Holds off Sly, Mueller, Childress, Lawler, Crawford. Those are your drivers up for the redraw here tonight. Great racing in the American Stocks. Ha-ha! All right, final heat race, American Stocks.
3 weeks ago here at Bakersfield Speedway, Mason Conway was back with Brock Crawford through the win. Brock Crawford crossed the line first. Made his way to post 10. Mason post 10, so Mason Conway did finish second. With a disqualification from the 74 of Brock Crawford.
Give you the starting lineup here in just a moment. All right, let's do this. They're giving him the one to go. Lights are going to go off at the line. And starting on the pole, 72cc Mason Conway, 74 of Brock Crawford outside row number 1. Row 2, the 49C of Colby Howard, or as it's written on my app, Cobley Howard. James Williams in the 95 is supposed to be starting. Wait a minute. Some of these numbers don't quite make sense. Well, the 53C is J.R. Daves, 22J of Andrew Johnston, and then I have the 95 of James Williams. Now, that is James Williams, but that doesn't look like a 70 or a 95. That looks like a 78. It could just be my eyes. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. We're weaving down the back straightaway. Remember, top 4 will be up for the redraw. We'll be paying close attention. One lap in, American Stock Heat Race. Numero tres. Conway getting a lot of attention. Way out front is Brock Crawford. Battle for second, contact. My dad's saying, Jeffrey, the leader's smoking, and I'm like, Dad, it's an American stock. If it's not smoking, it's not running. I think he'll. It's been a while since he's seen American stocks. He'll remember. Look at this battle out of turn number 2. Contact. Now that's another thing that happens a lot with American stocks. Mason Conway on the outside. Colby Howard working the inside. See that topless look? It looks weird for an American stock. Okay, all right, maybe that is a lot of smoke coming out of the 74. I'll give my dad that. Let's take a look at your leader. I was making fun of my dad, but this 74 machine's smoking a little more than I'd be comfortable with now. Watch this down the back straightaway. That's a little more. Okay, yeah, the leader's smoking. That is report worthy. We'll see if the leader can get to the finish line. 2 laps to go for Brock Crawford. A lot of smoke starting to pour out of that car. This is a battle for second, third, fourth. J.R. Daves in the 53, that orange car trying to find a way into the top 4. If Daves can do it, Daves may be our pole sitter here tonight. White flag for your leader. Crawford's going to have to make sure all the plumbing's tight on that car. Good battle for second. Ward on the inside, drifts up. That's going to open the door for Johnston. Look at all these cars. Only 3 of them are going to be able to make it through. Crawford crosses the line, arguably off the pace. And they're all fighting for those last spots. Hold on. Ha! American stocks. I love American stocks. And I'm not afraid to say it into the void. What a race. Good racing here at the Mike Moshier Classic. A night honoring an announcer, not just an announcer, but the announcer here at Bakersfield Speedway for so many years. Bakersfield Speedway, the Mike Moshier Classic. And we've opened up the curtains just a little bit into what's going on here tonight. If you're catching us here on Facebook, be sure to join us here. You do not want to miss the incredible racing, full fields in all 4 divisions. Heat racing, we just finished off the American Stocks, a lot of heat racing to go. We're going to open up the curtains for some sport mod action. Green flag and into turn number 1. They're going to throw it. These sport mods, that is the 22 machine of Buddy Shepard on the outside. How about we go 3 wide? Oh, it's tight. There's going to be 4 of these heat races. 3 cars will transfer through to the redraw. All cars will make the main events tonight. But you want to be in the redraw. Shepard's going to slip out of it right now. Your leader way out in front. By the way, I'm going to smack myself because multiple times I said sport mods. These are IMCA modifieds. Oh no, now the live looking knows that I'm dumb. Oh well, sorry about that. Ethan Dotson leading the way over this one. As we mentioned, Buddy Shepard making an appearance here tonight. Sitting in that second spot right there, carrying that speed. These fast modifieds, the 3AC of Kiefer. 5W Larry Wise, good to see Larry. 31A, Alyssa Smith. Rounding out this field, they spread out. We had some great heat races earlier in the American Stocks, and I'm like, oh boy, we got to share the action that's happening. Larry Wise getting into the side of Kiefer. Now, maybe it's just been a hot minute since I've been here in person, but these modifieds are flying around this racetrack. It is a very fast 3rd mile here in Bakersfield Speedway tonight. That's Ethan Dotson out of turn number 4, crossing the line, taking the win. Top 3 cars in each of these heat races will make it to the redraw. You make it to the redraw, that means you have an opportunity of starting on the pole, even if you finish as far back as 3rd in this race. You finish 4th, you will not start better than 13th in your race, and it is not a redraw. So at that point, you keep finishing spots behind that 3rd place spot, you're getting more and more and more in trouble. So IMCA Modifieds, holy cow, what a fast heat race that was. It was so fast that I was being a dummy and calling them sport mods. And that will live forever on the internet. So you all win. You all got blackmail on me now. And deservedly so, I may say. But again, folks, if you want to join us here for the whole night, I promise I will not make that mistake again in the next 5 minutes. Robbie Sawyer pulls out on the track, and that car's already smoking up a storm. A lot of smoke coming out of Sawyer. This is heat race number 2, 5 cars. 3 will transfer on to the redraw. Now, I say transfer. Again, all cars will make it to the main event here tonight. And again, if you want to join us here all night, and you do, we want to make you feel like you have the choice, but you don't want the choice. You don't want to miss the racing that's going to happen here tonight at Bakersfield Speedway, the Mike Moshier Classic. 51G of Gavin Manning, 111 Logan Drake, 51B of Brian Clark starts 3rd with Cody Laney in the 161. Interesting. 198 machine, Robbie Sawyer. That is your 5 cars going for 3 spots, and this is another stacked field. I do not know who's going to be the favorite here. Sawyer already around 1 of the familiar looking 51s. He's going to see double contact. Cody Laney says, I don't think so. Sawyer says, well, I do. Maybe some more slamming into turn number 1. And that is the battle for the last redraw position. Up front is Drake, Manning, and then this battle for the 3rd position. Clark trailing your battle for the third spot. You see that light amount of smoke that's trailing the 198. Don't know if they've been working under the hood. Maybe that's just some oil burn off there, but seems like it could be bad. Sawyer has not been able to get around Laney halfway through this 8-lap heat races. All heat races tonight will be 8 laps in duration. And we have a fast track, which means things are going to be happening fast. If you make a mistake, you got to hope someone's not right on your rear bumper. There's going to be no mercy tonight at Bakersfield Speedway. It's the Mike Moshier Classic. Holy guacamole, there ought to be no mercy tonight. Honoring the race doctor here at Bakersfield Speedway. White flag in the air for Drake. Manning, and then the battle you see there through turn number 2. Well, Logan Drake's feeling good about his 111 machine. Checkered flag for Drake. One last chance for Sawyer. Doesn't get there. Laney takes the redraw spot. Sawyer's going to be coming from the middle of the field. Now, let's see. Those two raced really hard, and they're either giving each other props or they're having none of it. It's topless night. I used to think topless night meant something very different until I got here. I was like, they can do that? They can have a topless night? That's allowed? Even in the family section? All right, let's get our next field out here. Again, join us. BakersfieldSpeedway.tv. Low budget TV. That's who we are. We're low budget TV. I was setting up wall cameras earlier with duct tape. One of the drivers was like, duct tape? And I'm like, yeah, dude. Low budget TV. He said, nice. But don't worry, folks. For anyone that's concerned, we use lots of duct tape. That's the secret. That's the trick. All right, looks like they're giving one to go, which means it's time for me to give you heat number 3 lineup. Now, they've been very fast here tonight. My plan was initially to give you 3 heat races here tonight, but I'll leave it up to you guys. You guys that are watching here on Facebook. Now, remember, these drapes won't be open long. Jerry Flip on the 13, 22D Ryan Daves front row, 09 Sean DeForest, 0 Justin Gonzalez, and the 29 of Andy Obertello. If you want another heat race, let us know. Get talking. You got to convince me. On Facebook, everyone already watching the stream, you guys know you're good. I love the look of this 097 machine, the yellow and orange car right here out of turn number 4. That's got old school vibes to it, and I like it. Daves leads early over Flippo. Gonzalez in the number 0 machine. Stepping up into the IMCA Modifieds this year. Now Gonzalez has that last redraw position. And you see this battle happening, these two drivers, Obertello and DeForest. These two are going to have to catch up to the 0 if they're going to want to make a difference in their starting spots. So granted, if you finish ahead of someone, once you're outside of the top 3, that's going to also count as about 4 spots per position you finish up. So every spot you gain, it's when you get up here, the battle for the lead, technically, you can win the heat race and still start 12th. But we've seen some, is there trouble? I thought Daves maybe was off the pace. Flippo makes the move. 3 laps to go in this heat race. Flippo has taken over the top spot. And Daves is going to slip back, but now Obertello's closing in on Gonzalez. We talked about it. This could be the difference of starting 13th and starting first. White flag in the air. Flippo up to a big lead. We're going to focus on this battle right here because this is the one that could affect the starting order. Obertello sets him up out of turn number 2. Oh, and it's going to be defense for Gonzalez. Flippo wins. Obertello almost gets there. Gonzalez holds him off for the last spot, and Gonzalez happy. Obertello probably not so happy. So like I was saying, folks, if you want this last heat race, if you're on Facebook and you're like, I need one more heat race to convince me to get onto Bakersfield TV, and like talk to me. I see people saying stuff that maybe, just maybe, this would butter your biscuits. You guys really want one more heat race? You sure? Because, I mean, I can only keep these curtains open for so long, you know. I mean, I'm going to have everything on that Bakersfield TV. All right. All right. I'll give it to you. Just because you guys are being fun. I like fun. Anthony Anthony Slaney in the 4X machine starts on the pole with Matthew Hagio in the 14.8 starting outside row 1. Row 2, the 61 of Dalton Houghton. Oh, boy. Now, we don't have an excuse. I know we've called Dalton a number of times, but we screwed up every time. Stephen Nolan in the 17N and Rob Sanders in the 10N. Now, kind of a heartwarming thing. Sad, but heartwarming, right? A lot of the drivers here tonight were names that we regularly saw in the Western late models that used to be a big division out here. The late models, I couldn't even tell you their status these days, but a lot of these drivers ended up getting into modifieds. I'm just glad to see all these drivers still participating, obviously, in the dirt racing. A lot of them transferred over the IMCA modifieds. Good to see these faces, including Sanders in that 10N. Green flag for the final heat race of the IMCA modifieds. This will mark the halfway point in heat races for the night. Still a lot of racing left to go, all the main events. So don't miss it if you haven't already. Subscribe for your live footage. Now let's pretend that you're like, oh, we're about to go out to dinner, as Nolan has a big issue. Even if you're about to go out and eat dinner, that's okay. You're going to have a replay. So you still won't miss a thing. It's the beauty of Bakersfield TV and lowbudget.tv. You choose. Hagio leads the way over Slaney. Houghton in the 3rd position. Sanders in 4th. Sanders is 1 spot out of the redraw. We've already seen some surprises tonight. Now they're side by side for the redraw. Top 3 make it. Nolan had an issue early, but was able to gather it up. It was so off the pace, I thought it was a flat tire, but he's clearly back going and clearly has air in those tires. 3 laps to go to be 2 at the line. Looks like your leaders are content. This is the spot that's going to be big. Can Slaney hold off Sanders? White flag. 1 more lap around this 3rd mile, Bakersfield Speedway. Out of turn number 4, it will be Hagio, Slaney, and Houghton holds off Sanders and Nolan. And that is the way it is done in the IMC Modifieds. Again, folks, join us for the full night of racing, BakersfieldSpeedway.tv. Hobby Stock's coming out for their heat races. But we're going to have to close the curtains. the Courtons, the Quaitons. Hey, Mo. Gonna have to close them. But join us for live racing action from this point forward. We certainly hope to see you with us on the other side. Waiting to give these drivers one to go. Hobby stocks are going to be up for their heat race action. We have 6 hobby stocks in this race. We will have a grand total of 3 heat races, 4 transfer out of each heat race. Again, no B mains tonight. Everybody will make it to the main. I like that. I always enjoy when we're able to get everybody into the field. Now, I also like it when we have B mains because that also means we have a exceptionally large amount of cars. But Bakersfield does it right, where it's not just a cut and dry, oh, we have this many cars, cut it. We're B main in it. Sometimes when we have a few extra cars and they're like, we're going to be sending like 2 home, they're like, we could put them on the back, you know. We could fit. I always appreciate that. With these races, because I like seeing all the cars. Speaking of all the cars, starting on the front row in the hobby stocks, Jimmy the Shoe, Irwin 2X on the inside of Nick Kaufman in the C50, 99T of Justin Toohey, and the 48X of Austin Manzella, 80D of Dylan Wilson, and the 21H of Jacob Hughes. 6 cars, 8 laps, 4 for the redraw. And lots of contact. You don't want to mess with the Shoe. He throws really big water balloons. Jimmy Irwin, the 2X machine. Used to race here on a regular basis in the hobby stocks. Then decided to kind of semi-retire, work on cars in the pits. Started helping out at the track as an official, was the flagman for numerous nights. Still pulls out the car, though. And whenever he does, you got to watch out. Jimmy Irwin. The leader over Kaufman and Manzella. This one's spreading itself out a bit. Again, they've done a really good job with the track. So far, no dust flying. So the fans their eyeballs are happy. But also, this just feels like a fast track tonight. I've seen it in every division that's raced where I'm just like, man, are hobby stocks always this fast? So it's a fast one. There's the Shoe. Kaufman Manzella, and our battle for the redraw spot with contact. Where are you going to go? Wilson looking for a way around, but both of these drivers are catching Kaufman. It'll be white flag this time by Irwin with a big lead. Battle for the redraw position. Side by side into turn number 1. Out of turn number 4, final chance for Wilson. Irwin takes the win. Kaufman and Manzella hold on. Wilson will also move on. I told you I had a 5-minute grace period before I would make my next mistake. It is for redraw for that. So, faux excitement. So I'll let Wilson in. That's what I'm saying. Wilson did such a good job, he can go in. Again, 3 heat races in this class, so it is top 4. Now, usually I have Tommy Mason alongside me. Next week we'll be out here at Bakersfield Speedway together, and that's when the yin and yang effect take place, where you know he cleans up my mistakes and I clean up his mistakes. We're both walking around cleaning up after each other. And I'm flying solo tonight, and usually that's not such a big deal, but apparently I can't math or identify. Folks, be there for me here tonight. Will you? Do you have my back? Thank you. Let's try another one in the hobby stocks. So Wilson, again, does transfer through to the main. See there, I say it again, not transfer to the main. But gets the redraw. I'm just going to stop talking. You guys are better off just listening to race cars. 24 starts on the pole, Tina Johnson. The number 2 of Kevin Irwin. Row number 2, the 25B of Brooks Simmentel and Matt Ehler in the 39. 119 of Rick Henderson and 12 of John Flippin. So I'm going to be honest. For the longest time, I thought Flippin got it. I thought that was a nickname, and I always wanted to know how I got it, only to find out that's his last name. The things you learn. That's the number 12, John Flippin. And he decided, hey, let's go racing tonight. So that's cool. Seeing an official who does a lot of hard work out here, a lot of great work at Bakersfield Speedway, and just drove himself into the redraw position. Now, Flippin has seen these drivers do what they do every Saturday night, and I'm sure there's come a point where he's like, no, that's not how you do it. You do it this way. Well, now he's got his opportunity to say, see, I told you. So that's Flippin right there. Behind, you see some quick hands for the 25 of Brooks Simmentel trying to hold off the 119 of Henderson. Lap 4, halfway. He raced number 2 for the hobby stocks. All right, Brooke gonna try it again. Hold off Henderson, does it again. Now that is, again, that's about 3 positions right there of a difference if you're able to pass. These two are not inside of the redraw positions, and Flippin's got an issue. Flippin said this is too easy and pulls it off the track. Heard something stuttering, maybe under the hood. And what that's going to do is now suddenly Brooks Simmentel is the one who's in the redraw spot, and this is a battle for redraw. 2 laps to go. Not a heavy battle there. Let's take a look at our leader. Kevin Irwin This will be the second Irwin to take a heat race win here tonight. Irwin out of turn number 4, takes the checkered. Johnson, Ehler, and Simmentel, leaving Henderson to have to start further back in the pack. So there's going to be a lot of Irwin in that top 12. And that's not always a surprise. But this will be our final heat race of the hobby stock class coming out next. Heat race number 3. And it will have the 16 of Ricky Childress Jr. starting on the pole with the 44V of Robbie Stancliffe on the outside. You see that 44 car. Don Mead in the 99 starts third. 26S of Steven Johnson fourth. 21 of Kyle Wood will line up on the inside of the 016. It looks like a 06 to me, but they're telling me that that's a 016 of Taylor Merchant. Let's see. Is that a 016? I don't know. You're going to have to really convince me that that's a 016. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It looks like a 06. Not like a 016. But, you know, what do I know? Obviously not very much. We've established that throughout these heat races. I am a lost pup in a sea of Bakersfield. Good to be back here, though. It's been a while. I want to say a few months since I've been here at Bakersfield Speedway. We've, of course, been covering all the events here at Bakersfield Speedway with Low Budget TV, but yeah, we've cover multiple venues and divisions throughout the year. And whenever we get an opportunity to be here, we are here. So absolutely love the racing here. If you've never been to Bakersfield Speedway, come on out. Let's see if the hobby stocks prove me right when I say the racing is awesome. They usually do. Contact there in the back with the 016. Even Kyle Wood is like, I don't think that's a 016. He was looking for the extra one. Tight battle amongst your top 3. Top 4 transfer for the redraw. A lot of smoke. It almost looks like Steven Johnson's, I don't know. That car, treble. Merchant spins it out. And battle for second. Look at Johnson's car through the corner. I don't know. Uh-oh, trouble! Woo! And that's going to hand Kyle Wood a redraw position and put the 44 out, but the yellow flag flies. Johnson, is it supposed to smell like that much oil? I'm going to say the answer is no. That's going to put the 44 potentially back in, or Marchant, who spun out and did not bring out a yellow, may have maybe stepping above the 44 machine. All right, we'll see. Oftentimes on nights like this, it's 2 and you're through, which means the 44 still gets another chance before they'll say, hey, we'll see you in the main event. Don't spin out no more. Lights are off. 3 laps in, 5 laps to go. It is Marchant who was put back into a transfer spot. Again, transfer meaning redraw. Old habits die hard. I'll just call it a transfer spot because they transfer into the redraw. Hey, there we go. Oh, don't do that. Cone. Oh, the cone. You're orange. Why would you do that? Oh, and the 44 spins it out. So we still have a battle, but now the Marchant's going to spin it out again. They all, I believe this yellow is purely the check-in on the cone. Cross your fingers. All right. The medical staff is there, and the cone has risen. He's okay. Whew. Some tense moments here at Bakersfield Speedway. You see the cone walking it off under its own power, thankfully. Might have a bit of a tilt, but there's things to fix that. Marchant's off the... Okay, now this is really strange. Marchant and the 44 and the 06 or 016 pull it off the track, which means one of those drivers got the redraw. I just don't know which one. If it's based off of how they crossed the line the last time by, it would be the 44. But I do enjoy that they just said, well, I mean, I don't enjoy it, but I laugh that they just said, both of you just calm down. You just need to take a deep breath and be back for the main event. All right, green flag. This will be a 3-lap shootout. All three of these drivers are going on into the redraw, which means how they finish amongst any of their options at this point will have no effect on where they start the main event. So how hard do you push it? How much can you learn? You don't want to hurt your car. Thought Meade might catch some of that tractor tire. White flag. Well, Ricky Childress Jr., he's not complaining. Kyle Wood started in the back. He's going to finish second. And Meade going to bring it on home. Checkered flag for the final hobby stock heat race of the night. They'll all regroup for the main event. And now, coming up, should be the sport mods, of which I was so obviously anticipating earlier. 8 laps of racing. Again, thank you all for joining us here tonight at Bakersfield Speedway. It means a lot to the track. It means a lot to us. Hopefully it means a lot to you. Hopefully we form this humanly connection that you can only get here with a low-budget TV. Hopefully. Make some observations around the track here while we're enjoying the racing. There's Gravedigger. That's young Gravedigger right there. That's baby monster truck Gravedigger. And in some surprising news, ladies and gentlemen, Shaggy is here from Scooby-Doo. Hey, Scoob. I mean, that's Shaggy. You can't convince me it's not. But you can try. Let's take a look at that beautiful Motor City Buick GMC. There we go, Fred Cummings Motorsports. And why don't we take a look at heat race number 1 for the Sport Mods. 30S, Jonathan Hagel. 51, Jason Bannister, row 1. Row 2, 83 of Jason Nation. And the 89M of Michael Black. Row 3, 68S of Billy the Kid Simpkins. And the 74 of Gary Dutton. Green flag. Oh. Hagio is saying, what happened? From first to fifth. And it was not a nice walk backwards either. up to speed now. 3 cars transfer out of the Sport Mods. 4 heat races in total to finish off heat races. Lap number 2 on the board of 8. And Jason Bannister leading the way in the 51. Over Black, Nation, and Dutton. Dutton outside of the redraw. Gonna need to make the move on Jason Nation. Nation a proven winner out here at Bakersfield Speedway. This won't be easy. Four laps in. Still Bannister leading over Black. Rather comfortable. This is the redraw battle here with 2 laps to go. Dutton will have to get by Jason Nation in the 83 if he's going to be up for potential redraw. Black goes wide. Now Michael Black's the one who has to hold on. Huge advantage. Bannister takes the win, and Black is the one who gets knocked out. Woohoo! What a finish. I just got a text message from Tommy, and he goes, apparently you don't know the difference between modifieds and sport mods. And I said, it's true. I screwed that up. I deserve, I'm holding out my body. You can throw the tomatoes at me. I deserve it. I deserve it. Now, what do you guys deserve? You guys deserve another heat race because you're putting up with me. And I'm going to give you heat race number 2, which is going to be led by the 33 of Kel Kanke, 151 of Tyler Bannister. There's Tyler. 28J of Brandon Jennings, 7 of Jim Reed, 14W of Willie Odout, and the 88C of Austin Ruskoff. Lights are out for these 8 laps. Oh, man. 6 cars, 4 redraws, and contact, and more contact. And looks like we're going to make it. Lap 1. Ruskoff on the inside. Trying to make a move here on Jennings. Kel Kange trying to battle for the lead with Bannister. There goes Kange to the inside. Battle for the lead. Gonna take the spot, Bannister with the crossover out of turn number 4. See those chunks of dirt going flying. Caution is out. We got Jennings spun out over in turn number 1. A little bit of damage. Might have cut the wall at some point. All right, lights are out. Let's do more. So Kangi leads the restart, lap number 3. 5 laps to go, almost some contact. Man, the lead is great, but this pack back here, as Reed gets a little too over-rotated, almost spins it out. Oh, contact, Jennings. Ruskoff to the inside for the redraw position. Around goes Reed in the 7. Single car spin, caution. Fireworks. Ha. All right. So going back to that 2 and you're through, didn't see too much of it tonight. Only I think 1 case of it. But now Jennings and Reed need to keep their cars going in the right direction, or they're just gonna be told, "Hey, we'll see you at the main." Kel Kenke. Tyler Bannister. Willie in that 14. Willie Odout. And Ruskoff. Now, Ruskoff made the move to get around the 14W. But the caution came out and nullified that pass. And now we're going to have to do it again. Did Willie learn anything from that pass? Be able to play some more defense here? So far, so good. Ruskoff back to the inside. Going to have to throw it in harder. Maybe use the door. 3 laps to go. Kangi leads over Bannister still. Here's our 2 spinners. Jennings and Reed. White flag. Ruskoff not going to be able to get there. You see those cars battling in the back, but Kel Kangi out of turn number 4 takes the win over Bannister, Odout, Ruskoff, Jennings, Reed. Looking for heat race number 2. Winner, Kel Kanki there on the apron. Doing their check. And heat race number 3 will be the one to proceed to the raceway. Drivers to your cars. 72 will be starting on the outside of the front row. Ryan DeForest in the 72R. There's your pole starter, the 40 of Nick Spain-Howard, 15F of Marcus Frazier. $17B of Tyler Blankenship, and the A69 machine of Cameron Teal. So it'll be 5 cars going for those 3 spots. Fraser will have to see if he's able to hold them off as he starts in the 3rd position. And off the pace start there for the 869 of Teal. 3 wide down the back straightaway nearly. It's the 72 machine. Fraser going to over-rotate. And the 17 going to have to back it up, so Blankenship just avoids getting into the 15 machine of Fraser. Still problems with Teal, and Spainhoward is opening up the sails, pulling them away a little bit. The 869 just does not sound good, because that car is clunking down the back straightaway. Not what they're supposed to sound like, I don't think. It sounds like what mine sound like. Spainhoward leads. Fraser to the inside, battle for 2nd. DeForest moves back a spot in the 72. And the 869 nearly looped it just now as they are racing hard for the redraw spot. Five laps in. Three laps to go. Big lead for Spainhoward in the 40. Fraser, Blankenship. It was DeForest who was holding on in that 72 for a while, but eventually lost the spot. Now has slipped back quite a bit. Teal in the 869. White flag in the air for Spainhoward. Oh, trouble! Fraser goes around. This could be very big because DeForest is going to get by. And the yellow flag flies before the checkered, which means that we still have 1 lap of racing. Nick Spainhoward's like, guys, I had a straightaway lead. What's going on back there? Fraser loops it. Now, DeForest was wanting this to stay green because he got around Fraser and said, cool, this is going to give Fraser an opportunity to get right back by the 72 machine. Green flag. And white. Battle's going to be for this redraw spot. Fraser dives it in. DeForest is going to lose it. Thought that was going to be the turning point there for DeForest, but it didn't last long. Checkered flag for Spainhoward. Blankenship, they're going to want to take a look at that front end. A little bit of damage on the front end of that car. Take a look and see. You see the bumper has been rearranged. You know. Nothing that's going to be unusual for the main events. As heat race number 4 gets ready to proceed. So we're hearing that we may have some cars having issues here. So Matt Wonkum in the 3M machine has not made it out on track. And Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was going off of the announcer, but I'm not believing what I'm hearing. Because there's a 3M of Wonkum. So, although we do have 2 cars, the 47 of Brock Crawford. Now remember, Brock Crawford was in the earlier race having a mechanical issue. So I don't know if they're just busy working on that. The 04 M machine of Austin Manzella was also taking part in the hobby stock race. So I don't know if they just didn't get it over here or what. But we're going to have 3 cars race for the final heat. This is heat number 4. 250 is Ryan Smith. 3M is Matt Wonkum. And the 3 of Dylan Potter. Well, it's going to be a duel of 3s. Now, all 3 of these cars are going to make it. But they're not going to have to worry about anything. 2 laps in. Because everyone's going to transfer to that redraw. So this is just more of a shakedown. Take it easy. Get a feel for the car. Moment there into turn number 1 for the 3 of Potter. Kind of looked like he was flirting with the wall into turn number 1. Was able to keep it off. Smith leading the way here. Wonkum hanging out there in the 3rd spot. So this duel of 3s. Oh, now Wonkum almost loses it over in the corner. This one's and all about Smith now. I will say, Potter's starting to close in a little bit. It's going to be too late, but white flag. And these drivers are going to cruise right to that finish line. Checkered flag, checkered flag. That's going to be a wrap here on the heat racing action at Bakersfield Speedway, the Mike Moshier Classic. As we proceed to main event action. If you did catch these heat races on delay, be sure to join us live for racing action at Bakersfield Speedway or on lowbudget.tv. A whole bunch of good stuff that you can catch there, including live racing, of course, highlights all over YouTube. A lot of good stuff. So that's going to be a wrap on the heat races as we proceed to the main events. Coming up next.